Alrighty. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Give me a heads up if you guys can hear me a-okay. We'll begin in around, I don't know, 2 minutes, maybe. Just wait for a few more people to show up. Solana won the vote in yesterday's stream. So again, remember to vote in the comments underneath, so that way I can keep track of the coins that get the most votes, I guess, the most attention. Based on which coin gets the most comments, I'll just go ahead and do that coin. So yesterday it was Solana. Let's see who wins out tomorrow. And hey, in the meantime, make sure to hit the like as well. How's it going, Sherwin, my man? Mango indeed. Alrighty, I'm just gonna wait for you guys to pop in and leave your vote in the comment section for the next vid. Again, remember Solana won today's vote, so we're covering Solana. And I'm just gonna go ahead and get a quick drink for myself. BRB. Let me know again if you guys can hear me a-okay. Alright, just a quick voice check. Alrighty, I am back. How's it going, Easy Shutter? Sound check 1 2 1 2. Indeed. Yeah, Solana 2021 was one of the few trades that I did get right. It was Solana and AVAX. Right, those are the two trades I did really nail. The two memorable ones at the very least. Alrighty, we're gonna do the pre-stream now. Seems like more and more people are popping in again. Make sure to smash the like button, smash the subscribe if you're new here. There's around the like to viewer ratio is very disappointing. You guys are just really lazy, or you guys don't like the content. In which case, why in the world are you watching? All right. We're gonna begin soon. Just gonna talk about what we're gonna talk about first. Essentially, Solana, right? Today's stream, I'm gonna be a little bit lower on the energy, guys, because I am really exhausted. You can probably see it in my eyes. I barely slept last night. I picked up a new book. Well, I picked it up a bit ago, like a week or so ago. It's a memoir from Ben Bernanke on the 2008 financial crisis. And for those of you who don't know, Ben Bernanke was the federal chairman during the 2008 financial crisis, and listening to his reasonings as to why he did what he did, and the accounting of the way he's accounted all of the events that took place is really, really instructive. And more importantly, he's written it in a very, very academic way, right? Which takes me back to my days in academia. So it's a bit of a it's good to see an accounting like that. It's really meticulous. So it's just started getting more and more interesting, right? So I was up all night, late into the night at the very least, reading. So yeah, I'm tired, guys. I'm tired. But we promised a Solana with today, so we are going to be covering Solana. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. Fortunately, Solana is a very, very easy chart to analyze, at least for me, because we've been trading Solana a lot over the past few years, right? Trend trading it at the very least. So been keeping an eye on the trend structure. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on how we are going to approach any potential trade opportunities on Solana. And there is one coming up very soon. In fact, there was a trade opportunity on this over the past few days. We're going to be going over all of it. So let's go ahead and get started. I see we have Krisha in here as well. And boom, this should do. Good morning to all of you. We are looking at Sol on the 4-day time frame over here. We're looking at the Ichimoku structure over here. Again, Hillary was keen enough, or what's the term I'm looking for? She spotted something really, really interesting over here that we'll cover towards the end of the analysis. I do want to be structured today, so we're going to start off with the dashboard. Okay, this is how I think you guys should start off your analysis as well every day. Right, keep it simple, or you're going to get overwhelmed. Right, if you keep it simple and you keep it systematic, right, you're not going to think. You're not going to end up thinking, oh, but this is bullish and that is bearish. What should I give importance to? If you have a order of events on how you are looking at the charts, automatically you're going to start building a story on how to read a trend beginning to form, right? So that's how I recommend starting off your daily analysis on any coin that you are looking at. So we're going to start with looking at the trend structure of Solana, get a good idea of how it's performing across different time frames. Okay. Before the most recent update on the dashboard, we'd have to go through all of the trends one by one. But now what we can do is start with your most important time frame, which is the daily, right? We're doing a daily analysis, and then click the drop down right over here. This will give you the trend structure of all other time frames as well. Okay, so we can see, okay, the daily is long, clearly volatility is a bit high, it's above 50, but hey, look at that, guys. The bullish Ichimoku just went off today. 8 hours ago, we just got the official bullish Ichimoku trend going off on Solana. That's a really, really, really good sign. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and look at all the other trend structures and any other flags that may pop out to us. 4 long flipped from neutral 2 days ago, right? So 4 hours long, that's a good sign. Up 15% since it turned long. Volatility around 60, right? Again, not the best. Matching up with the daily, not something that you'd want to see, but wait for the entire picture. Bullish Ichimoku on the 4 hour as well. 12-hour long as well, flipped 1.8 days ago, so we can say 2 days ago, up 8% since. Volatility again pretty high over there. Okay, Ichimoku has gone off 8 hours ago as well, so we have 4-hour bullish Ichimoku, 12-hour bullish Ichimoku, and remember the daily too is bullish Ichimoku, right? So we have bullish across all the lower to intermediate time frames, right? Up until the daily, you can call it low time frames, low intermediate. Starting from the daily to like the 4-day is your mid time frames to higher time frames, right? And what's the 2-day saying? Neutral. The 4-day, interestingly, is long. Okay, so 2-day is neutral with really low vol. 4-day is long, and we don't have volatility for the 4-day and the weekly. It's too high of a time frame. But this is where it gets really important. The weekly is short. The weekly trend is short, okay? So now we are seeing that the 4-hour is the lower to mid time frames are all flip long with bullish Ichimoku, and their volatility is beginning to pick up, right? That's the story here, guys. The volatility is beginning to pick up. This is kind of what you want to see if that higher time frame trend resistance, because remember, the weekly is a short trend. That's trend resistance against all of these other trend time frames, right? The lower to mid time frames are all bullish, bullish, bullish. However, the weekly is bearish, so that's resistance, right? We want to see the lower time frames break through the weekly time frames. So we want to see that volatility begin to pick up. If the volatility actually is already high, right? If we had seen red, 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 red across all these time frames and the weekly was red, at that point I would be like, this may see a rejection. But at this juncture, because vol is not red yet on the 4-hour and the daily at the very least, and the 2 days still blue, this gives me hope, wrong word to use, but gives me hope that we may see a break of the weekly trend, okay? So now we're going to go on over to the Mango view. And you guys may notice that we have our FEGs turned on. In fact, let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay, we're going to turn it off. Start with what's going on over here. We're looking at the 4-day structure. In fact, we shouldn't look at the 4-day. We should start with the daily. I'm going to switch on over to the daily. We're looking at Sol over here. You guys can pick Sol from the drop down over here. And by the way, let me know in the comments down below if you guys would be excited to see more coins listed here in the Mango view, because we may add coins very, very soon. Okay, so we're looking at the daily first, okay? And remember, the daily flipped long on the trend as well as the Ichimoku on the trend structure, right? Right over here, you can see that we flipped long 1.3 days ago, and the Ichimoku flipped long 8 hours ago, okay? Bullish Ichimoku. Going back to the Mango view, we're going to go ahead and turn on our bullish FEGs. And you can see that we had a bullish FEG coming in from around this area for this entire duration for like a couple of weeks now. So that was your accumulation zone. And you can see how well price respected this FEG, guys. Remember, this is drawn out automatically for us, right? So we don't have to think too much about it. We can be objective about it. This is why I like indicators, why I like things that are automatically done, because we have no control of it. And one of the biggest weaknesses to traders is subjectivity. When you remove subjectivity and you add objectivity, it's like, hey, I just followed my rules, which means that if this had broken underneath, you exit the trade, right? So if your thesis was, I'm going to accumulate over here, or I'm just going to buy this FEG, you just stick with that thesis until it breaks. Well, it didn't break. It bounced to the upside, right? And it drew in a new FEG around this area here. And you can see that yesterday we tested that FEG to the T. This is how well price has been respecting these FEGs. And big shout out to Mark for introducing FEG to the Mango community and driving it into us over and over again, to the point where I was talking to him, like this was months and months ago, because I started looking into FEGs too, and I'm like, hey, this is going to be a good addition to my repertoire too, for my trend trading, to build into my trade, right? Let's say I'm building a trend trade. This is where I'll be looking to add to my trade, guys. Let's say I use my system to build a trend trade, to start a trend trade. But then you guys know I like to build into my trade, right? I like to add to my position as it goes into my favor. So what would I do in this case? Let's say I was accumulating this zone over here. Well, as soon as I see this pump to the upside, guys, I'd be looking for this FEG over here. I'd be looking for this FEG to get retested. We got that retest yesterday, and look how well it bounced off that FEG, right? Similar story with Bitcoin yesterday. An FEG was drawn in, Bitcoin came down into it, everyone got super bearish, but that was a bullish FEG test, right? It tested the bullish FEG. Krisha is going to be covering that in today's video, and it bounced off it. Similar story with Solana. We tested the bullish FEG, and we bounced off it. Well, where to though? Where to, right? Where do we go to? Well, let's turn on our bearish FEG now. And you can see that we have resistance right overhead, right over there. So we have resistance over here, guys. We have a bearish FEG in this entire zone. If we break this FEG, the next FEG is coming in all the way over here at around 32, 31. So keep an eye on that, right? At this point, I wouldn't be looking to buy Solana. That's what this is telling me. I'd be looking to buy the retest of the FEG Or I'd be looking for this FEG to break to the upside, and then I'd be trading the gap between both of those FEGs. But at this juncture, I wouldn't be interested, right? I wouldn't be interested. The time to have been buying was the test of the FEG over here, or the accumulation of this longer FEG during this entire period. Accumulate, 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 and then if it broke down, just exit. But it didn't break down. It broke to the upside, drew a new FEG, gave you guys another opportunity to buy in if you're interested in Solana, of course. And now it's at resistance. So over here, this is not the good time to be buying, right? Based on this. Based on the daily flip long, so you want to buy the retest of the daily FEG. That's a simple strategy you can use right there. If the daily trend flip long, right, you can just simply use this now, right? Use your trend view on the dashboard right over here on the left. Wait for it to flip long, turn your alert on, switch on over to Mango View, wait for the retest, buy. Right? Let me show you guys a simpler way you could have done this a while ago. Let's go back to the Mango View. Look at when the 4-day flip long. 26 days ago. 26 days ago. That's more than 3 weeks ago. Flip long, right? Well, let's go to the dashboard. Switch to 4-day time frame. We have our FEGs already activated, so we don't need to turn anything on. The 4-day time frame flip long around 3 weeks ago. Just wait for the FEG to get retested, guys. Boom. And now over here, we're testing the bearish FEG. So do you buy here? No, you don't buy here. Over here, you take profits, or you wait for the FEG to break, or you wait for the retest of the FEG to the underside, right? The green FEG you buy, the red FEG you sell, or you go hands off. You just say, hey, hands off. I'm not allowed to buy here. I'm not allowed to buy here. This is not a good spot to be buying, because look at all these tests of the FEGs, guys. This was all resistance, 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 all right? So you literally now, the dashboard is literally one entire system for you guys, because on the dashboard, you have your trend structure, you have support and resistance, you can use FEG as support and resistance, and you have volatility, and you have the Ichimoku, right? You have literally everything, you have a system. So you guys make a rule sheet for yourself and say, I am not going to buy if these things are happening, and I'm only going to buy if these things are happening. Boom, boom, simple. An all-in-one system for you guys. On top of that, you can go ahead, and you should actually go ahead and add more confluence by looking at your charts. Now, I've been trading Solana since like freaking all the way since around here, actually, since around the $9 to $10 mark was where I started building a small position. And then over here at around the $25 mark in 2021 was where we started getting really aggressive, right? So this was way before the dashboard was as powerful as it is today. So I have a lot of history in my head in regards to Solana, and I'm seeing a lot of confluence with what the dashboard is marking out, guys. If you guys remember, this zone over here, this $25 zone, has been very important to us, because this is the zone where we built a position, our initial position that we traded all the way to around $130 to $150-ish was where we started taking profits drastically. But it was also our kill zone when we came down over here, right? Because we attempted for a trade again over here when we came down over here at around 26. We attempted for a trade over here, hoping for Solana to reverse to the upside. But if it started breaking the zone again over here, we knew that that was death for Solana. And Solana has been trading so well using TA. To the T, guys. Anybody saying, oh, only fundamentals matter? Tell me how this has been respecting things so perfectly then, right? Let's go ahead and bring things back into equilibrium. You guys can see that right over here, when we broke the zone over here, it literally just went down on the 4-hour time frame. Just went poof, straight down. Similarly, when we came back up there, we've been respecting it on the 4-hour time frame to the freaking T. Now we're back up over here, okay? Now, I don't recommend you guys use the 4-hour time frame. Just use something as simple as the daily or even the 4-day time frame, and you guys will be fine. And we're come up to smack up against that level yet again, this big box territory drawn in from our weekly levels. You can use a time frame as low as the daily, okay? Now, finally, we can also use the Mango Dynamic, and shout out to Julian for pointing this out yesterday in the Grove chat on our Discord. If you guys aren't in our Discord yet, make sure you guys join. Available at themangoway.com/Discord. So what's going on over here? I'm going to go ahead and turn off our horizontals. What's really important to note in regards to the dynamic is that it has dynamically marked out our support and resistance for us to the T, right? Like it came down when price popped up over here to around 24. It was telling us, wait for this to break, wait for this to break. It's not broken yet. As tempted as you are to get into the trade, and I remember being very tempted over here, Solana might be reversing, it may go up more. Dynamic told me, no, wait, okay? Over here, rejected again, came back down. Now, look how thin the dynamic is. And again, Julian pointed this out yesterday. The dynamic is thinning out. Usually when the dynamic is thinning out, it's indicating a move to either one of the sides with volatility. So if this breaks to the upside over here, guys, we are going to look for the volatility to the upside. If we reject one more time, I'll be looking for the volatility towards the downside up until the dynamic thickens up again, right? But now, at the moment, when we combine everything that we're looking at, right, you kind of have to lean to the upside, right? Especially considering what Bitcoin is doing, right? So, should you be buying here? That's the question. Should you be buying here? Based on what all of our indicators are telling us? No. We maybe should have been buying a couple of days ago, right? When you had the retest of the FVGs somewhere around this zone over here on the 4-day or on the daily. Let's go ahead and switch back to the daily FVGs, zoom in. Okay, that would have been a good buy at around $22. By the way, shout out to Mark for adding the prices on the FVG, right? This is an update that we added just a day or so ago. I think it was this morning actually, because up until yesterday we could not see the price of the FVG when you hovered your mouse, but now you can see it so clearly and so easily. So yeah, thank you, Mark, for doing that. He's been really, really quick with the updates and the refining of all of this. Man, this is turning into this dashboard. I truly believe is probably one of the most powerful tools in crypto at the moment, right? It's a holistic analysis tool now, and man. Okay, at the moment, the holistic analysis is telling us that this is not the time to be buying, right? Even the dynamic is literally telling us the same thing. Dynamic is telling us, wait for the weekly to close. If you close above this, you can use the dynamic to get an early entry on your trade, because the dashboard would still be telling you, right? At least, yeah, on the daily too, the dashboard would still be telling you that we have an FVG overhead. So how would I do this? I would use the weekly dynamic to get my first entry in. I divide my trade into 4 bits, okay? 4 bits. Get your first 25% in on the close of the dynamic, right? If you get a dip underneath, then after that, into the daily FVG, you get your second trade in again. Then you start building and building and building. And then your final entry should be above the top of the daily FVG right over here, your final 25%, okay? So first 25% on the close of the weekly dynamic, second 25% on the retest of the daily FVG, okay? The third 25%, I'm going to leave up to you guys. You decide when you want to enter. But the final one should only be above the close of the daily FVG over here, coming in at, we don't have it listed here, $28. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, because guys, remember, another thing to keep in note is that the weekly trend on the dashboard is still bearish. It's still 40 days actually bearish, right? It's just beginning to probably come into equilibrium, because you can see that the bears have given back a lot of their profits over here, right? So if you were still in your short trade, you're actually down, right? Price reversal was at $20.89. Okay, interesting to note. We're currently sitting at $24. So 4-day has been long for a while now, but the weekly has stayed short. So it's a squeeze. It's a squeeze between the 4-day and the weekly. That's what it's telling us. The 4-day has been long for 26 days, while the weekly has been short for 38 days, right? So it's literally a squeeze between these two time frames. You can almost picture the trend, and the daily and the 4-hour and the 12-hour are all trying to press against the weekly and break it towards the upside. Alrighty. So that's pretty much it, guys, for Sol. To conclude, we have resistance overhead on the weekly, but the underlying support structure from the 4-hour, daily, 12-hour, and the 4-day are all trying to press against it. I'm going to wrap up over there. I'm really, really tired. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Let me know in the comments down below. Remember, you have to vote for the next altcoin, and I'll cover that in tomorrow's stream or the after tomorrow. Solana won the last stream. Again, hit the like so that way I know that you guys are enjoying these shorter, to the point streams where I break down my thoughts on how I approach whether I am entering a trade or not. Gave you guys my thoughts on Arbitrum yesterday. Go ahead and watch that because the trade is actually developing based on exactly what I spoke about yesterday. The triggers haven't hit just yet, but it's there, almost there. But you got to watch the stream. It was a deep breakdown using just price action. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, do the mango way, do the easy way. I'll see you guys in our Discord. Ciao. Oh! Before I end, though, I should. Before I end, I just took a quick look at the chat, and I do want to talk about something Hillary mentioned right over here. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I should talk about this. Okay. This is really important. Okay, this is based on the 4-day as well, and we're seeing a lot of confluence across the 4-day structures. Right. 4-day time frame is long right over here, 26 days long, 22% up on the 4-day FEGs. We have a very clean structure as well. You guys can see how clean it is, way cleaner than the daily. Tested the 4-day FEG underneath as well, bounced off it, been accumulating on the higher FEG right over there. So the 4-day has been seeing a lot of respect. I want to talk about the 4-day Ichimoku that Hillary pointed out over here because I think this is going to be really important. What I'm going to do over here, guys, is you can see I have my Ichimoku on. I'm going to hide the chart. Okay, I want you guys to keep an eye on how the Tenkin is flattening out. The Kijun is coming to the underside. I want to go ahead and take a look at where the EMA is. EMA is right underneath the Tenkin as well. Okay, if we see the Kijun start coming underneath, or rather, let me put it this way, the Tenkin living above the Kijun. Okay. Mentally, it's better to put it that way. If we start seeing the Tenkin living above the Kijun, as well as price close above, it's about to do that, right? Above the Tenkin and the Kijun. So we have price living above the blue line and the red line, and the blue line living above the red line. Once you see all of that come to equilibrium, okay, you're likely going to see a move to the upside. At that point, the cloud resistance is going to be something to keep an eye on. But once you start seeing price live within the cloud, there's a potential edge-to-edge trade opportunity, an equilibrium trade opportunity all the way to the top of the cloud. And I'll be looking at the first flat structure right over here, guys, which is $106, okay? Look for a move there. However, the 200 moving average is going to be something that price is going to have to contend with, coming in at around $66. So based on the 4-day Ichimoku equilibrium trade, you're looking for a target, eventual target of around 66 and then $106, right? This is just based on the 4-day equilibrium trade playing out. At that point, though, we'll have to reassess because the cloud is still red. We wouldn't be looking for a big move just yet, not until Bitcoin's weekly cloud turns green, okay? So yeah, I just want to cover that. Okay, so with that, guys, I'm going to wrap up the stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.